Hello everybody, thank you for joining us today. We're going to be building a Mini 11.
I think we've only done one of these. I know I'm not like that, but
Just one.
I think we did one giveaway that new print design.
So this is a fairly fully modular case. This one?
Just, you don't need one.
Yeah. So this is a really fully modular case. Today we're going to be fitting a 4090 and a 360 radiator all inside this little boy. Hello. Okay. So I know that if I need to put a 360 radiator in this case with this build, I will have to move the back plate.
That is so crazy to me about this case.
Yeah, this is a pretty slick design for being able to accommodate new graphics cards with the size that they're becoming. And just everything about it is just giving cases. People are wanting smaller cases, but the biggest of cards, and it can be overwhelming with just trying to get it all in. And they've got it figured out pretty well with this case here.
I remember the first time I built this, I didn't move that down, and I had a 360 up top, I think, and I was like, this can't work. And I had to go to Sabian. I was like, oh, that slides down. Like, what? You can change the whole back? So, cool. Oh, nice. I'll get them. Alrighty, so looks like we got some questions here. Radiator question. Is the client supposed to drain the radiator every year, or are they good for much longer and don't need to be cleaned? Still use air cooling, but they're curious. So yeah, that is a great question. So these AIO radiators that you've seen us be using, you will not have to fill this up or anything. The only time you need to do maintenance on your radiator is if you have like an open loop system. And really, even if you have one of those open loops, most of the maintenance is just at the beginning. There's a lot of air bubbles that build up, and it just takes time for those to work their ways out. But to answer your question, no, you won't need to add anything to this AIO here. Hence the name all-in-one. One of these days we'll get an open loop build on the show, and we can show that. But pretty much everything we've done has been that. Mine? There's. Oh, yeah. Just like. Sure.
It's from the mat, it's fine.
That's fine.
I'm hearing everything a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, put that one back to quiet.
This one? Right here.
This one's hearing you.
Hastings used the same cooler for 3 years until the other day. Never touched it, barely had any dust in it. That's awesome. Yeah, you probably got good filters if you've been using it for 3 years and don't have dust.
And no cats or pets or anything.
Right. Because we will see these come in on like some old systems or even our systems here that have AIOs. We'll take the fans off, and you can. There's like an imprint of the fan and dust on the radiator. So those magnetic filters are really nice. Everything's designed now to just be easy to clean. So.
bad boy's getting a 5950X.
5950X, alright.
Dim stick?
What's up?
Dim stick or?
Yep. You already know.
Alrighty, frames win games. Don't forget to peel. You always want to check all of your stuff, make sure there's no peels. Yes, it is. It is an LTT screwdriver. I was on wave 2. And this does have film under here, so it might be a little stucky.
Yep.
Thanks, Paul.
Not a problem.
Alrighty, and this bad boy is also getting a 980 Pro. It is a PCI 4, but we do have that sweet super speed 7000. So I like attaching radiators now just because I don't like having to do it inside the case with it still, like if I was just to drop the motherboard in and like have the radiator installed separately. This allows me to have a little bit more room for cable managing. This cable here, you can see earlier, I kind of wrapped it around underneath. You want to be careful not to, like if you have a bigger like Threadripper or the big Intel Xe's chips, if your cable runs across it, you could melt your cable. I've done that once and learned not to bolt tight on the big systems. But for me, this is, I can pick it up, I can put it wherever I need to. I will also go ahead and pre-install fans just because that will help me get some more of my sidebar cleaned off. And then just kind of orientation of how it will all sit in the case. There's going to be exhausts on the roof. Pre-installing fans is just kind of, you know, it's something I picked up just to make it easier. I am kind of, if I'm mounting it on an 011 XL and it's going on the front, so it's going vertically, I'll usually mount it first and then mount my fans on, just because it's a nice wide open surface to where I can get a screwdriver in to the case. But if I'm going to be mounting it on the roof, then I will go ahead and pre-install fans. I feel you with the normal screwdriver. I believe, yes, the codes are on Discord. And with this being a bigger board than ITX, this is MATX, I believe, we will have to install a bracket in the case. So now, come back. Oh, this small guy, this little thing. Here we go. Okay, so this has 3 little slots that go into these grooves there. Driver box. Right in front of me. These guys set you up with all of the hardware, screws, everything you will need. And this just screws on with 4 little screws, coarse threads. Alrighty, let's go. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. And then from here, always want to make sure that you have the right standoffs in the right holes. You don't want any holes that have standoffs that don't need them. This case, being as modular as it is there an overhead that we have on this one? Yeah, perfect. Oh, no, back toward me. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so this is, I call them star constellation. Star constellation, just all of the standoff spots. Anywhere that you can have a standoff. So because this is a modular case, it has multiple spots to set up so that you can configure and fit all of your goodies inside. With this, with it having the 360 on the roof, we've got to go ahead and move the standoffs that were installed already down, which is easy peasy, lemon squeezes. Yes, the screws come with the case. It comes with this whole box full of goodies. There's a manual in there, which is like an IKEA menu to show you all of the different ways that this case can be made. And it comes with this sweet little plastic container just filled to the brims with everything you would need to add in all your hard drives, all your SSDs, fans, all of it. It's great. These guys really know how to get you set up for a good case. Alright, let's pop this I/O. Okay. I can show you. Okay, now we can go ahead and grab and drop. And so I can keep the whole radiator and fans outside of the system while I work with the motherboard getting it placed and installed. Thank you. And this is the big gigabyte, so I'm gonna see what mounting bracket it comes with. And if it will determine how I mount the graphics card. If I can make it super secure, I would really like to do that. These big cards are pretty heavy. Oh, I love it. Okay, so let me open this bad boy up real quick. bracket won't work, so we will go with no bracket, which will be fine. I will save the box and ship the graphics card separately. That's one thing that we do if we can't securely mount our big boy graphics cards. Because how terrible would it be to get one of these things and have ripped up your whole system? Look at that big boy. I'm just going to do a soft fit just to make sure. Oh yeah, we've got so much room we can stick another graphics card underneath it. So then I'll finish screwing the board down. That's it. Okay. Twist and drop. Do a little softer there. And these three will be exhaust. We will be intaking air from the floor and sending it through directly into the graphics card. And then all that hot air hopefully will get pushed out real fast at the top. Whew, a bit. The cables will be able to run on the bottom of the graphics card. Actually, with this being an SFX power supply, it's a teeny power supply compared to the ATX power supplies. ATX power supply cable will be about this big. ATX or SFX one's like really short. So we probably will be dropping those cables all along the top. So that's what we're looking at right now on the inside. And next we will touch the case cables. And let me get them untied here, and then we can see what we're working with. So yeah, like the liquid cables right here will just be set just like that. They'll curve just like that. Okay. I'm very OCD, guys, so bear with me. I remember my first zip tie, it was this one. So I like lining all of the flat cables up. Making a nice bar, and then that round one will sit right on top there. And we just continue our way down. I'll leave this one a little open. So now, sometimes those are on the top hole, and that's where I just like getting all zip tied together. Thank you. Thank you, Monadota. I really appreciate that. I just enjoy building. Okie dokie. Now we'll bring her on in. Drop the HD audio. Okay, front I/O. Everybody. Bottom, from my side, bottom right, but your left is going to be HD, with the HD facing down. Directly above that, on the outside, is going to be your positive side, and on the inside is going to be your negative side, and that's your power LED. On the bottom left side is the reset switch, and on the bottom, or on the top left side, is the power switch. It's going to be like that on every board for this series until they give us some new hardware to play with. We'll probably be looking at that. Okay, now from here, since all we had to do was just those little guys, we will go ahead and install base fans and rear exhaust. this has a bar, a slider bar that you could fit 120s or 140s on the bottom. And we're just sticking 20s on. But the extra room allows you to have the fans either closer toward the front of the case or the back of the case. I like having my base fans, the fans that are bringing air in, as close to the bottom front. I like to look at the whole thing as an angle. If you're bringing fresh air in here, the hot air should be leaving up in the opposite top corner. And with these new big graphics cards, that board on those cards is not that long. You're really looking at a board that goes to here. So that's essentially one whole fan that's out in the open. So if we're just shooting fresh air right through it, that's going to be one cool graphics card. More frames. So just the best way to think of how it will flow. This case can hold 2 more fans. You can hold 9 in total, or you can push-pull your radiators. I'm a big fan of push-pull, and it's pretty fun. And with this guy right here, it'll be set up just like that. We'll get all these cables in the back. Okay, so I like the cable manage a lot.
That's a good one, Zach.
Going real good, Paul. Real good. And then, so when you're working with fans in a series, you'll want to be sure that you're not plugging in, plugging in, plugging in, plugging in, plugging in, plugging in. You know, you want to start at one and go to the end in order. So I take one fan from the inside to the back at a time. And you saw I did this zip tie on the top. That allows me to cable manage on the inside all of the cables that get stuck on the inside.
Fluid, looks like you're asking, is the memory XMP ready? Yes, so it kind of goes back to what we do once the system is built. It goes into our testing and integration department. The first thing that we do there is get into the BIOS and set the memory speeds or verify that it's correct. And then a few other settings before we load the operating system and anything else. So, yeah, that's a good question. And if it isn't, we'll find out there.
And so Paul's opening up that SFX power supply that I was talking about. That's teeny compared to the ATX one. So that's where your cables are also going to be small too. And so, like we were saying earlier, with the size of the graphics card, we'll have to do some configuring to get that the graphics cables looking real nice.
Be a really tight fit. Pretty nice. It is crazy how small these power supplies are. Always. And how big, like the 1,000 watt. It was
1,000 watts for
insane.
a teeny little guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. do lots of moving. The best way to no, you're good.
Not
The,
trying to get in the way of
the
messing with you.
best way to build it is for you to be comfortable. If you're comfortable sitting and building, standing and building, laying down and building, dreaming and building.
I feel like once the processor goes in, everything else is
It's
fine.
pretty cake
Not
from
that
there.
even that's bad, but I will try to get the cables laid out. But
Yeah, you're
do you
good.
need SATAs for this?
No.
No.
Yeah, so with this build, we will just be using as many of the VGA PCI cables that we will be getting, and just an 8-pin CPU.
Single 8?
Yep,
Alright.
and just the 24. So this doesn't have a whole lot that's asking of it, other than the graphics card. Okie dokie. Fun part is about to begin, guys. Cable management. But first, let me get my RGB on.
Got it written down, Ivory. Next stream we'll be laying on the table building above us.
Yeah!
We're gonna need a bigger table.
We should build on a mirror. With a mirror.
That'd be cool.
Okay, this motherboard has RGBs down at the bottom. It's hidden. But by plugging the fan controller into the motherboard, we'll be able to do whatever we want with the fans according to our motherboard software.
Why is Molex a thing?
Molex is still very important because of hard drives. The military still uses big boys.
What about this thing? This floppy disk.
Yeah,
right there.
floppy disks are still
Where do
being
we-
made. So funny enough, thermal. Oh no, yeah, thermal. Yeah, right, thermal take. The
Thermaltake?
big thermal
Yeah.
thermal take. Their RGB fans.
Mhm.
That's how they get power to their fan hubs. Is by that floppy.
By that legacy connection
Mhm.
right there.
So just because it's old does not mean it's gone. But with Molex, it probably could.
Need anything, Zack? Any water, anything like
think I'm
that? Good. All right. Cool.
Thanks, Paul.
No problem. We'll pop back in.
Okay. So now I'm just cable managing the fans. This case does have quite a few tie-down slots. So even though your cables aren't long, if you do have long cables, you've got lots of spots to be able to get them secured to where it looks real pretty in the back. Build with the glasses that are upside down. I don't know if I'd be able to survive that. Maybe we could do a VR build. Stream the whole thing. Like a third-party camera over the back. Third-person mode. That I don't unlock that until next year. I'm only a 2-year builder for this company. Next year, that's what I'll get. Sometimes it's just figuring out how to grab it all, to bundle it all up. And having just a little bit extra room to be able to do it. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, guys, look at this. All right. If you can get this in chat, I'll be real happy. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We'll tie it down to make it look super crisp. Okay, and yes, this power supply is going in this hole right here into this little cavity, but we'll still have a lot of room to be able to get everything in there. So, alrighty, we're gonna be at tight fit, but it'll fit. Guys, when did we start this stream? 40 minutes ago? 20 minutes ago? Guys, we're 20 minutes in on this build and I'm dropping in this thing. Look at this. Uh-oh, that needs to come off. Yes. Look at that. Okay, those bottom fans are close, but that's enough gappage. Enough gap that I'm comfortable with it. If you have stuff right behind the fan, it just becomes a wall. And it can't move. Yeah, so it can't move, but all of this, I can fit my hand in there, not comfortably, but well enough to where that air in there will have places to go. A lot of it from these two fans is going to go directly through this heat pipe right there. And that will allow all of the heat from gaming to dissipate. Just got a 49 freezing. Charge all the apps when I start the PC and not when I'm gaming. And then shut it down to stop. Any recommendations? Be easy. I would make sure all of your drivers and every BIOS is all updated. And check that out. Only when it starts at 255. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully the guys in chat will be able to help you out a little bit with that. If you give them some more info, they might be able to troubleshoot you some. Okay. We're plugging in the big boy. So that requires a bunch of plugins for power. And as you can see, this is an SFX cable. Barely goes the length of the case. So here's where we'll have to play around a wee bit. I'm probably gonna go over the top. It's not my favorite look, but on the bigger cards it holds them up, but that's not my favorite look, because one point in stage, the bigger cards became ginormous cards, and ginormous cards are a little bit different. So for now, I'm just gonna let those dangle on the dongle. Gonna go to my CPU, my EPS, right? Yeah, EPS. Just get pulled through the top.
No.
There's not much to this. I did need one SATA. Go ahead and plug in our 24 pin. This is a 20 pin with a 4 external. So whenever you have those 20 with the split 4, be sure that you're installing the 4 on the right side. So every once in a while that can mess you up. Tuck. Okay. Now that we got most of our cables in, I'll go ahead and drop this in. And the reason why I kind of put things in the order I'm doing them is for weight. I know they might not seem heavy, but in some cases when you're trying to work around a 1,600 watt unit, it has to be in the system first because you have to cable manage around it because it's so big. But on little builds like this, it just makes it just that much easier to move it. Okay. So I'll grab this guy that's going to 2. I knew there was another one. And I'm going to try underneath. It probably won't work, but it's better to try and fail than not try at all. Yeah. So the 24 pin is going to be your big power connector over here, and this gives you power to the motherboard. Your CPU power is all the way up in the top left corner, and that will power your CPU. Depending on which CPU you have, it might just be a little 4, it might be an 8, it might be 12, it might be a full 16 on plugging in. This guy, most small guys like this are just 8 pins. Okay. bring this underneath. That looks pretty good. Guys, we're gonna be able to do it. Look at this, look at this. Okay, the only issue with this being all of those fans down there. 2 of these dongles have stuff hanging off of them. And the other one just has half the stuff hanging off of it. But if I can't get it to where it's not on some fans, so this might be laying them in special like. You know, when you're working with a small case like this, you can set it like this. Bigger cases might not allow that. Oh, okay. That's 1 fan spinning, that's 2 fans spinning. Look at all this power, unlimited power. Here we go. And you still see, oh man, I've got a, we're gonna have some trouble plugging in a USB here. That's what happens, You get excited and you forget things. I got real excited. Cause look at this. Oh man. Okay, let's do a wee bit cable management. This will allow it to, so our fans down there won't get interrupted. Our stuff up top here is good. Very much you want this side. Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that looks like it's still allowing room for those guys to move. One thing I keep forgetting about is some SATA, so we will be plugging in some SATA. I forgot all of this stuff earlier. Sometimes it just is that way. Okay. this was the cable I was wanting earlier. This allows you to be able to control your Corsair lights. We stick all of the lights in here. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Woo! Look at that. Here we go. I might need my tool. Kerchow! Ah, yes! Uh-oh, here we go. This is gonna be the hard part. Oh, would you look at that? Bink. There we go. Here we go. Gonna get bouncer. So essentially, I've knotted my whole cable management system in front of the fan controller. Perfect. Oh, the hard clicky. Only happens when I'm doing Okay, now we have all these cables that I'm just gonna fold up. And dispose of just like this. See, I was excited. Look at that. Look at that. Tying up takes a lot of time. I want it to look good. Okay. Now, I kind of want that guy right there, but I also don't want to be able to see my cable blow off. So what I'm going to do is mount it to the back side of our SSD tray here. It's a little tricky if you don't know it's there, but with proper amount of slack, this will rest just like that. Look at that. Look at that. You don't even know it's there. You have zero clue it's there. Is there a fake is there a fake controller and a light controller back there? No. Okay, let's plug them in. And then we'll power it up and look at the light strip piece. Alright, we'll plug that into numero 1. Hold it and log it in. You know what? I'm confident. this big bad 4090 gigabyte 3x fans, 24 gigabits, cutting edge. Sorry, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, but first, let's get our light strippies. Gigabits. Okie dokie. Power. Woo. Alright. Stage 2. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Look at those fans. Look at those overhead fans. Look at those. Those look so sick, right? Okay. Everything spinning? I don't hear anything. Nothing coming from my cables. All of my fans are spinning. Got some red VRAMs. Probably just needs a little update. BIOS updates. Those are pretty important. Muy importante. But I like running these guys last just because that lets me know where I want to put them. For me, starting out, I think I might run one the other way first to start my loop. Okay, so I'll just kind of feed it in. Ow. Oh, ow. I say ow. It's more of a shock to the system. Ow. Ow. This is where turning it off, having it off, ow, is nice. But essentially, ow. Okay. Came unplugged. Ow. 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 Okay, what I'm trying to do is just, woo! I'm gonna stick this guy on the back of the radiator. hardly up top here. Okay, that's some good glow up top there. Then I'll continue the line. Now, and I'm thinking I'm going to stick with the top. I like it a lot right now. Just light strips are such a creative way to get a little bit of ambiance in your system if you want it. And with all these bad boys sitting in here, it'll look real nice. It's like being fully decked out. You know. Showing up in nines. Ugh. Still have one more. Still have one more. Would you say the Lian Li is a better case than the Phanteks P500 Alpha? Alrighty. The P500 Alpha is a pretty nice case. That is essentially the Phanteks Evolve X with just a little bit different setup and layout. Now, you're talking a big difference between Phanteks and Lian Li, especially when you're talking the P500. Now, if you're comparing the P500 to the 11XL, they're both nice cases. They both offer a lot of options. Being a hard drive guy, hard drives and SSDs. I'm more of a SSD. I just got off hard drives, but being an SSD and hard drive guy, you need to have a case that can hold like maybe 3 or 4 sometimes, and that really limits what case you can do. The 11XL can hold 4 hard drives in its hard drive base. It can hold, I think, 3 SSDs on the back wall, and the P500A, I know, comes with 4 hard drive SSD bays, mounting trays, and they just like clip onto each other. So at that point, it's really aesthetics. Are you a glass man or are you a solid case man? Like, because those are real big differences. Alrighty, and so with that 4th strip, put it on the back right here, because when you go to start to slap it on your panels, I think that gives a pretty cool look to it. If you have it up against a wall, it glows a little bit. like Paul mentioned earlier, air and dust filters. This game's equipped. You got your slide out on the bottom, real easy. Take out, blow out, slap her back in, fresh air again. Same thing with the top. This doesn't get much better than basic easiness. Okey dokey. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna slide this in. Oh yeah, baby. Look at that. Look at that. You know what? Look at that. That one's gone too. We don't want it. You know what? There was some on the inside. You don't want that either. You know what we did just now? Gained five frames per second. Peels. Peels make frames. Yeah, those hard drive bays are pretty fun to link together. I like not dropping tempered glass or any glass. There we go. Yeah, right. Oh! That's a perfect shot right there. You could see it glowing in the back right there. Oh yeah, and like that's exactly what like it you know. Just want to look at a cool, clean PC, right? All right, I'm gonna go grab another one.
Is there plastic still in front of the PC case?
Right here.
Black strip on the case
Oh, in the top.
on the side of the power button.
More frames, guys. More frames. Look at that. There's 2 more frames.
This is the 2023 Nissan Rogue. With a larger standard.
Guys.
Everything changes.
Yes, I put a 4090 into a Mini 011 black. It was epic. Alrighty. Let me figure out my top down. You sell laptops. This is This bad boy has a i7-12700H. We're rocking a 3070 Ti 8 gig. This customer is getting 64 gigs of SODIMM, which is memory modulars. And we're getting 1 terabyte NVME. Okay. Got a couple more screws here. Now, the one thing about this is I accidentally built this yesterday in the wrong system. So I need to fix it and put it into the customer's right system. It's on me. Quick little easy pop with a plastic tool. One thing I learned pretty early on when you're tearing apart a laptop, don't pop it open next to any USB bays or any slots like that. You can crack the plastic. Alrighty, since all I'm doing is just pulling the stuff out that I wrongly installed, perfect, alrighty, yeah. So I'm just wanting to collect my stuff so I can install it in the right one. Accidentally gave this customer a soft downgrade from the 3070 Ti to the 3060. No one wants that. So taking care of them. Getting it done right. Okay. The new system. I think we sell 2 different laptop variants on our website. You should definitely go in and check them out. Gaming on the go. How do you get those frames outdoors? With one of these.
We fight the battles no one hears about. We're the ones who go before all others.
Yeah.
Join the fight.
Thank you, Solar. I enjoy watching these. Don't you just love it when the screws just magically work? Boy. Don't get caught out. Get stuck. Okay, like this one. He can stay. He's got his home. Oops, sorry. Alrighty, and boop. Okay, so main part of my job, other than checking things out is I'll go ahead and install thermal pads. Pads for therms. What these bad boys do is help your M.2 stay cool. They just help keep the heat dissipated and localized. Woo! Woo! Done and done. Alright, now we're going to install our SODIMMs. Tink and Katink. Alrighty, now for the fun part. Let me grab a new glove.
Somebody's asking if that's a motherboard.
This is a gaming laptop. I'm about to bust into it and show you the fun. Like I said, this has a i7-12700H. We're rocking a 3070 Ti. Now for the fun part. Okie dokie. This is another star constellation. Just a whole constellation. They're all numbered 1 through 12. These screws do not remove, they have locks on them, so they just get unscrewed. But I did have to unplug this fan and this fan. And then we'll just kind of pry up a wee bit. Perfect. Alrighty, so from here I want to install new thermal paste. Because I don't always like the stuff that comes on. You want to grab a trusted surface. Try and keep this in frame for you guys too. And just clean off the pre-existing paste that is there. And these have little pads on them too. There's thermal pads around, but there's also just like pads from the paste. Alright. Woo! Perfect. Okay. So this right here is going to be our i7-12700H, and this guy right here is going to be our 3070 Ti. I usually use a spreader. You want to get it everywhere as best as you can. Alrighty, Alright, Scuba Gang, give me 2 seconds. Let me go grab some more thermal paste. Be right back, guys. Okie dokie. I don't like that paste. So I'm grabbing my trusted sleeve corner again. Okie dokie. This won't be too much longer. All we have to do is just put our heat sink back on top, button it up. Guys, that's a day. We're gonna call it. We're gonna build this thing so good. Okay. Back to me now. Flip that guy. Try and keep my hair out of your guys' view. Oh, look at that. Okay. Okay, that's all completed and done. Don't want to forget fans. What are laptops known for? Being warm. Without fans, they're even more. Looking good. All right, everything's good to go. That's that. Now, dropping this bad boy back on. Everything snaps back. Okie dokie, okie dokie, here we go. Whew. Alright, gang, we've had a fun, adventurous time. We've built a Mini 11 and a laptop. there's any more questions. 5 screws left. Alrighty. We are rocking and rolling. Some of them do require with their batteries. Yeah, just have to put the charger on them.
You want fast internet? You want gig speed from Cox? That gig is 320 something. One match per click. Another easy to freeze game with dozen actions. And the third video calls as long as it's love. Wherever hangs up. That's a game.
Thank you. Have a good day, Scooby Gang. See you guys next Thursday.